office to wait. Mrs. Darling filled out a registration form and handed it back to the secretary. Wendy watched as her mom tugged nervously at her skirt and combed her fingers through her flat-ironed hair to settle it more perfectly on her shoulders. Mr. Darling squeezed Mrs. Darling's hand gently and raised his eyebrows at Wendy. "Don't fuck this up," his eyebrows said. After a few minutes, the dean cracked the door open and called her name. Wendy stood, but Mr. and Mrs. Darling stayed seated. "Just me?" she asked her dad. "Just you," the dean's secretary said sternly. Wendy left her jacket on the chair and made her way into the dean's office. It was a large room, bigger than some of the classrooms at her old school, and it was completely crammed with plants and bookshelves. The dean sat in front of a wide window. His hair was gray, his suit was expensive, his desk was massive, and his chair was tall. The chair that Wendy was supposed to sit in was small and pushed far enough back from the desk to feel awkward. Wendy sat in it anyway. The dean shuffled through the papers Mrs. Darling had filled out, seemingly just to create suspense, before finally looking up at her. "Welcome, Wendy. So," he paused, looking down at his papers to check. "You're 17, and you'll be entering senior year in the middle of the school term. Do you feel as though your previous institution has prepared you adequately for shifting into a new environment?" "I think so." Was this an interview? This was alarmingly beginning to feel like an interview. Wendy glanced down at the tight church shoes her mom had forced her into this morning, and a wave of dread crashed over her body. I did okay on the ACT prep, and I have a 3.0, which is a little low in comparison to the rest of our higher-performing students. But I've been led to believe that you're accomplished in your extracurriculars." "Oh, yeah. My parents didn't usually get home until late, so I did a lot of clubs. I'm good with home ec. I won 4th place in the regional track and field 400-meter dash, and... "And?" The dean peered at her over his glasses. "And I write stories sometimes." He grimaced, then folded his arms and leaned back in his giant chair. "Well, they any good?" "I think they are," Wendy snapped before she could stop herself. To her surprise, the dean smiled. "That's a lot of confidence. If you're as forthright about your work as you are about handling new experiences, you'll adjust just fine." He shuffled the papers in front of him and then shoved them to the side. "Now, do you have anything you'd like to say that you think will influence whether or not we accept your scandalously late application?" Wendy looked down at her shoes. She started, then stopped. "My mom wants me to go here. I wanted to go to public school because I want to have a new experience. But I think that it would be really painful for my family if I didn't at least try my best to get in here. My mom used to live here, and I think she always wanted to go to a school like this. Giving me the chance to go is the closest she'll get to that." The dean watched her curiously, but didn't say anything, so Wendy continued. "I know a lot of kids do things for their parents that they don't want, and it's always some big sacrifice. But I know the difference between wants and needs, and my want to go to public school is smaller than my mom's need to see me go here. And that's important. If my grades aren't good enough, then maybe my extracurriculars will help." The dean nodded. "That was a good answer." He folded his hands on his desk. "You're an interesting applicant, Wendy Darling." He wrote something on the papers and then stamped them. "You can go out to the lobby. If I need anything else, I'll give your mom a call. Have a great rest of your day." When Wendy stepped back into the lobby, Mr. Darling immediately stood. "How did it go?" "Okay, I guess," Wendy said. "He stamped the forms and said we can go home." The dean's secretary looked up. "You're probably good to go then. Believe me, he doesn't stamp much. You'll get a confirmation call next Monday that has her start date, and an email with information."